Well, for those who've never met me before, my name's Andy. I'm an actor, comedian, entrepreneur, dad, husband. Yeah, that's pretty much about it. Oh yeah, sorry, no, DJ, computer programmer. What do I do in my spare time? Yeah, I own a recycling company. I thought I'd give you a YouTube video today because this is the very day after the tragedy in Nice. And I don't know how many people have to go onto YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and all such alike to broadcast their feelings. So I thought YouTube was the best medium for me. Now, I voted to leave the EU, basically because the EU for me doesn't work. It doesn't represent great value. It doesn't represent a whole host of things. But I didn't vote to leave Europe, and there is a big difference between the two. Today really marks another day of sadness for me. France yet again suffers a tragedy. It is exposed to terror yet again, and pretty much every major country around the world seems to find terror comes knocking at its door. But I try to look at it from the other side of the coin. Why do these terrorists do what they do? What is it that makes them tick? What are they hoping to achieve? Let's look at the facts. What do they achieve? Absolutely nothing. World hate. World hate. There's never ever going to be people who are going to accept their behaviour in political life. I mean, let's look at it this way. Killing 80 people with a heavy goods vehicle and possibly God knows how many more. How is anybody who that gentleman represents ever going to stand there in politics? And their way of life is going to be accepted by others because you scare people into it. Well, it's never going to happen, is it? These people need to learn that there is a better way. There is a better way. Everybody has a voice. Everybody has a right to an opinion. Not everybody has to agree, but everybody has the right to that opinion. Don't go killing innocent people. It makes absolutely no difference. It causes the world to react. It causes my country to react. It causes the French government to react. It causes the American government to react. And what happens? They react against a bunch of terrorists hiding somewhere, and innocent people die. I'll say that again. Innocent people die. In your country and ours. Now, I was told as a kid that two wrongs don't make a right. Okay? And that was sort of pretty big. Doing something just as bad doesn't make the situation right. So I urge the British government, I urge the French government, I urge all the governments around the world, do the right thing. Simply going into countries, invading them over a few terroristic ideas is wrong. These people need a voice. They really do. They need a voice. They stop the senseless killing. But these people also need to be held to account for their actions. They need to be brought to justice. And there's a big difference between law and justice. Justice is something that's reserved for the rich. Law is reserved for all. You see, I was always taught as a child that one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. I struggle to see how someone fights for freedom by killing 80 innocent people. Men, women, mothers, fathers, children, nans, granddads, aunts, uncles, you name it. These people you have taken away from others. So the damage is not just limited to the 80 or so that have perished in this atrocity. The damage continues. It goes deeper. Children are affected. mothers are affected, family overalls are affected, and not just in France, around the globe. Around the globe. I say to you, anybody who's thinking of making these terrorist acts, think. Stop. Your time would be better served speaking about your cause, getting your voice heard. It isn't about the senseless killing of thousands and hundreds of innocent people around the world. Now, I'm not really a public speaker. I don't speak a lot in public. Obviously, with the comedy side of things and ventriloquism and bits and pieces, yes, I do. But I don't speak about my politics very often. Because everybody has an opinion. And opinions are like arseholes. Everyone has one, and they all stink. However, there is a big difference between an opinion and a life. Not everybody agrees. You cannot force somebody to agree by taking innocent lives. It does not work. The direct response of taking innocent lives is other innocent lives perish. Whether it be from hate crime, whether it be from acts of rebellion, whether it be government responding, innocent people die. And it is wrong. Fundamentally wrong. Boris Johnson has just been appointed Foreign Secretary. And if you ever hear this one day, Boris, I have faith in you. I really do. You may look crazy, you may certainly act crazy at times, but I do have faith in you. Now, I've been on this earth for 37 years, and I've never really been into politics very much, except for the last 2 years of it. But I feel in government now, and indeed you can spread this to the royal family, we have people that we enjoy being there. I would always say if they could bring back spitting image, it would be fantastic time in government now, especially since the Brexit vote. But look at the royal family. Prince William and Prince Harry, absolutely fantastic, right down to earth. They do things that we do as normal people living normal lives. Prince Harry and Prince William borrowing a helicopter and going off to the Isle of Wight for a stag weekend is no different than us guys taking the firm's van and doing some moving about or taking a load of lads down the racetrack. But they've made being royal human again. The government, the people who stand there and represent us, and the likes of Boris Johnson, who actually is, some people would say, insane. Einstein once said, there's a very fine line between genius and insanity. And I think he's right. I think Boris Johnson will do a great job as Foreign Secretary. I would have liked to have seen him become a Prime Minister, but I believe he will have his time. Now, I don't often do these sort of YouTube videos, and I'm going to start doing more of them because I don't know if anybody would share them. And I kind of like the mystique of doing it in the dark. But I would end on saying this. Mr. Johnson, if you ever do hear this, you have my faith. And I'm pretty sure the faith of many others, including, of course, our Prime Minister, Theresa May. I would like to wish you well. And if there was anything I could do, I would. Now, I doubt there is. I'm sure you have millions of other government advisors around you, and who are far more qualified than me. All I would say is, being a person of the United Kingdom, is that please hold integrity. We've been demanding that for so long. Integrity is something that we all have a right to expect from our MPs, and that's not always been the case. So perhaps you may say things that upset other people, perhaps you may say things that people deem unfair, but that is what's called freedom of speech. and that is life. Just the same as the terrorists. They should have freedom of speech. I would stand there and I would listen to their point of view. I would listen to what they had to say. I would talk with them, negotiate with them, express a heartfelt sympathy for their position. But it cannot be to take the lives of the innocent. Now, just as to finishing, I know that this has been flitting about, and I'm going from one subject to the other. But in light of recent events, I wish you all very prosperous Brexit. My deep felt condolences, and my heart goes out to the families of Nice. And I'm pretty sure my fellow countrymen from England, Scotland, Wales, Ireland and Northern Ireland will also send the same. Please look after one another. Please look and listen. Open your ears and your hearts to everybody else. And I will be back. I wonder who said that.